Entrepreneurial Live interviews with Connie Fuksa. I am Connie Fuksa. And today, as has been recently the trend, I have the incredible opportunity to interview somebody that I've never met before, but that I've been following for the past couple of weeks on social media and through a lot of the networking channels that I belong to. And I'm just super excited to share with you guys the energy of this lady right here, because if you get connected with her at all, you're going to see that this is just amazing, the things that she's doing, the free value that she offers, and the positivity and the things that she wants to share, and that she wants to help you grow. And I just can't wait to hear her story and interview her. So, Nirit, thank you so much for being involved with us today. I really appreciate you taking your time.
I'm so excited to be here, Connie. I'm really, really excited to say hi to everyone and just, share what I do and hopefully give you some tips.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's do that. Tell us about you. So first tell us who you are, what you do right now, and how you got to where you are right now.
Awesome. So my name is Nirit Roddy, and I'm the CEO and founder of Fit with Nirit. And I help professional women kind of get out of the overwhelm and stop, look great, feel great without dieting at all. And I have always done this. I've worked virtually actually for 6 years. So I help women all over the country. And I've always provided workouts that women can do at home or in the office. And the idea behind my workouts is that instead of just burning calories during your workout, you have that after burn effect. So I do metabolic strength training workouts that you can do out of your own home. So
wow, that's really cool. I'm definitely curious to hear a little bit more about that. Tell us how you got into this. Tell us a little bit of background about you and how you got to where you are right now.
So this is kind of interesting. So I actually taught 5th grade for 10 years, and I love teaching so much. I love strategies. I love working with different personalities. And after that, I was going to take a break, and my kids were kind of little. I was going to become a personal trainer. So I have a master's degree and I got certified in personal training. And then it became I call myself an accidental business owner. And then I really felt like it's not just about, I saw people, they would work out, but they wouldn't be doing the right things. They would hop from program to program and they would not see any results. So I developed my own type of training, which is the metabolic strength training. And then I decided I was also going to get certified in nutrition because I have had a couple things happen to me. After my first child, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. And I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it is an autoimmune disease. And a lot of times it's supposed to make you gain weight, feel tired all the time. There's a lot of other things. And then I went into early menopause. So I've experienced a lot of stuff. So I had to kind of learn the hard way about, I was never the kind of person who could eat what I want, could just not go and exercise, but I really want to find an efficient way. And I'm not really, I don't believe in diets. I know that it has to be a lifestyle and you can be very, very, very successful. So with the menopause, I found somebody to help me and I developed my own nutritional strategy for that. And I also adopted my second kid. So I made lemonade out of lemons.
There you go. That was going to be one of my questions. Okay, so your first child, you get this, then you start to go through menopause, but you said you have several children. So obviously those children, you found other ways to do things.
Yes.
I love this because so many pieces, so many good things about this. So tell us a little bit more about your program, and then I want to dig into the whole entrepreneurial side, but I'm very curious about you sharing that the metabolic strength training. I mean, how does that differ? I know you said it's not a diet and it's not just working out. I mean, obviously going through menopause, you felt some things and saw some things change in your body that you had to figure out how to get around. And I know there's so many women that are going through these kinds of things. They work out, they try to eat well, and things just don't change. So how did you get into this and what is it all about?
Okay. So the first part, the metabolic strength training is just, it's what I developed kind of. So so women, especially women over 40, women over 50, especially, you want to prevent osteoporosis, you absolutely need to strength train. And to your bones, it's for your metabolism. But you also want that endurance. You want to keep, your heart going. So you want to do something that does both. But most of the women I work with, they work 12-hour days. They don't have time to go to the gym. And, they're running businesses. A lot of them are entrepreneurs. A lot of them are businesswomen. So they don't have time to drive to the gym, drive back. They also have kids at home. They want to do it. They want to get it over with. They have 20 minutes. So they really need to do something that works both. So this is a combination. And you want something that's at your level also. Mm-hmm. So they would start, normally the women I worked with would start, they would, do cardio for like a half an hour on the elliptical, and that wasn't getting them anywhere. It wasn't getting them results. So that's the metabolic strength training. And then I'm so anti-diet. You see all these people, they try a diet, they do really good for like 3 days, a week, even 2 weeks, and then they sabotage. And then, and the truth is that a lot of times they don't really know how fat loss works, how weight loss works, how, what is really the right ways to do it. And they just need a strategy. They need to be able to, not right now, but go out to restaurants, go to events. They need something that works for them long-term, it's not depriving them of anything.
Yeah. Nice. Really interesting. I love all of this. So let's go back to the, the entrepreneurial side of this, because I love this story that, you're a fifth grade teacher for all of this time. And then you go back and get certified. Well, you get into the fitness, and then you say, well, I'm going to go ahead and get certified for this. Let's see how this works. And you, like you said, accidental entrepreneur. So talk about those steps a little bit, because obviously you had some kind of brain activity that said, well, maybe I should try something different a little bit. And so this is teaching, but in a totally different way. So talk to us a little bit about that shift.
Yeah. So I do my programming in a way that's very, I would say, teacher-esque versus business-esque, which I don't know if that's good or not, but it is how I do. So when I started, just the way that I work with clients, I think is different. I love teaching. I love helping people. I'm not saying business people don't, because they definitely do. It's just kind of the thinking, how detailed I am. So I think the biggest thing with my program and why it works, you probably seen a bunch of testimonials and stuff. People are like, 20 pounds in 12 weeks. Oh my God, this is must be a crazy diet. And it's not. It's just, so I provide my clients with daily check-ins, and it's positive words, positive accountability, and it's getting themselves to regain their power by unapologetically putting their health and themselves first. And it's that positive self-talk. We do a lot of, what are your wins today? What are you doing? Positive. It's all very, very positive. And it's, that kind of style, it's really evolved into that. And I think that is a big part of the teacher, and being really believing in people and being honest with people too. And that's how I was as a teacher. I talk to them, the kids like this, and I talk to the people I work with, my clients, like that too.
Right. Very good. So how do you transition from, so let's talk about the business itself. So you transition from being a teacher and working in a school environment to now all of a sudden you're going to run your own business. I mean, that's a big shift. And so give us some of that the mechanics of going through that change and how you've done that. And how long have you been doing Fit with Nirit?
Okay, so that is a huge difference. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I did not know.
This is so cool. This is such a good story because of exactly that.
Okay, so Connie, I didn't know, I'm not a business. I didn't take business. So I didn't know what marketing was. I didn't know what sales was, funnels, all that stuff. I had no idea what they were. I had no idea how much work was put into a day. But the difference is, I love teaching. I love my students so much. And I still it's hard, thinking about that. But with this, it's a passion, the energy. I'm always working. When you're a business owner, you're with your kids, you're always working.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're always like, what am I supposed to do? What should I do? Blah, blah. Like, people are always asking you wherever you go, you are, but I love it. Like, I can't stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's such a passion, but I don't think people really know, which is good, what they're getting into until they get it. It's like being a parent, you don't know until you're in it, you know?
True. So how long have you been doing this as a business?
Okay. So I started personal training 6 years ago. And then I became my online program. I started 3 years ago because people really are really successful with the online program because it is everything. It's super holistic. It's accountability, it's nutrition, and it yields really good results.
Good. Very good. So obviously in that entrepreneurial step, when you started this 6 years ago and you said, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do all these different things. I just want to be, a trainer and I want to help people with fitness and things like that. So tell us a little bit about those steps, because obviously there was some things there like, oh gosh, I have to figure out about paying bills and, paying taxes and marketing and, putting information out there and networking. And I got to build all these things in my time. So tell us a little bit both about, struggles of those things, because that had to be a little bit frustrating because then you're not doing the things you want to do. And then what you decided to do to achieve those things and pull that struggle away from you a little bit.
So in the beginning, I started really small. So I just did personal training out of my home with just a couple people I knew. I started with like 1 or 2 clients, and then they told their friends, and it became like, a lot more people. Nice. And so I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm a business owner. So I was like, okay, I need an LLC, and I had to get some legal stuff going because I didn't realize there's a whole new set of stuff, which is to me very, very overwhelming. Because again, I have a teacher background, and people do that for you. People, when you're teaching and, or work for the government, or there's a lot of great things about that, like such as that kind of stuff, that is handled for you. So that was a lot of, that was very eye-opening to me. The struggle for me was what to do to get clients, besides referrals. And because I feel like I knew really well what to do, what to tell people. But, in the beginning, it was like very referral based. And that is, to be honest, a major part of my clientele is referrals. I have 2 really good pieces of advice on this. Number 1 is hire someone who already does what you do to coach you. So like if you, like in the health world, right? If you want to get in shape, if you want to have like this awesome body or whatever it is that you want to feel really good, hire someone who knows what they're doing. Number 2 is your tribe. So, sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry. In my town, I belong to a lot of women's networking groups. And I also have started some virtual networking groups where I met you, and you are a part of my tribe, and making those connections and learning from people. Like, I want to be like you, you know what I mean? And I listen to you, and you are so talented. And I'm being very serious. I'm not just, I hate when people are like I'm actually being honest. And that's how you learn. You listen to what people have to say. I listen to other interviews that you've done. And you know what I mean? Like, you learn from people who are successful and who have done things that you want to do. And you talk to them and you speak to them, and that will help you because you've done this a long time. This is year 6, and I listen and I take notes. You know what I mean? Like, I take notes on everything.
I do too.
So
that's excellent. But I like, you've brought up so many different pieces that I think are just amazing nuggets here that we're sharing. So let's go from there backwards even. Notes. I mean, I was listening to someone else talk today, and they were talking about when you're working with someone, listening to them genuinely speak, taking notes, answering, being a good listener is so important. But particularly when you're jumping off this huge step, landing board, whatever it is, to make this step to go from, in your case, being a teacher to going to being a business owner. I mean, that is huge. I mean, and totally different. Probably good that you didn't know all of the pieces in the beginning, because it might have been a little overwhelming, right? But I mean, that's really important. But what I love is the piece that you said right before that is, with that piece of advice, when you said, hire someone to help you that does what you want to do and is successful at it. And I love this in lots of ways. I want to share with everybody, when you said hiring is great. Like if you need a specific task done that you need help with, hiring. But the other thing I wanted to share out there is, we talk about this all the time and everybody uses different words for it, but I like to use the mentor concept, because if you want to be successful, you have to find people that are doing what you do and ask them to help you. It is always going to be a good advice. Not everybody's always going to jump in and want to help you, but probably 70 or 80% of them will. And if you're finding someone who is already killing it at what you're doing and you ask for their help, even if it's nuggets from them, think of all of those pieces that you learn and you start instituting those pieces in your business, and boom, you start making those changes and having success. So I love that concept that you talk about. And I love that you're sharing it, particularly from someone who went from a very untraditional path. I mean, usually when people go down this path, they have a little bit in their family background, or they've done some of it. Very rarely does someone go from these extremes, which I love. That's why I love your story. It's just phenomenal. But I like also that you've taken advantage of those opportunities, information from people, and you've built that into a very successful business. But the other piece I like is this conversation about your tribe. And you talk about this as far as the women around you, but no matter what your business is, the people that you surround yourself with is going to forge your direction, right? So talk to us a little bit more about that. I mean, you talked about having a networking group. Where did you hear that was a good idea, and why, how did you start forming those kinds of things, and how do you interact with those relationships?
Okay, so I love that question. So one time I was in a coffee shop. This is how it started. I was in a coffee shop with my family, and I met this wonderful lady, Robin Holiday, and she owns Horse Spirits Gallery in Savage Mill. And I don't know how we just connected, and we said, let's meet here again, and I will give you some advice. And it's crazy. So we met again, like a week later, and she told me about this awesome group called Business Women's Network of Howard County. And she was like, it's such a great group. It is, really nice women, really supportive women. So I went to their next meeting, and I've been a member for 3, 4 years, 4 years, 5 years. I don't even know.
Okay.
I'm now the membership chair. Robin later became a client. She lost 25 pounds working with me, has kept it off for probably, I think, 2 years now. She worked with me 2 years ago. So it's funny how, things come back.
Absolutely.
They circle, and she is, people like the women in that group are so amazing. They have helped me so much. I learned so much from them. I've invested in myself.
Yeah.
To get help. Like, one of them helps me a lot in social media. One of them helps me a lot, with my finances. It's very important. I think whenever I invest in myself, I get it back, and not just with numbers, I think that's
the relationships and the growth. Absolutely. And knowledge.
Yeah, I think so. With me, it's all about relationships. And that's with the teacher too, as being a teacher too. I love my students. They were like my other children. That's how I feel about my clients. That's how I feel about my tribe.
Yeah.
I'll stop anything for them,
Yeah, I love the story.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of people making comments online, and I was going to add them, some of these to our chat. Anne Marie says, hey there, ladies. Michelle said, good afternoon, ladies. Michelle said, where is it? Being mentored is always beneficial. That's why it's a good thing to talk about, because I think people, with this mentor concept, thank you, Michelle. And thank you, Nirit, for bringing this up. But I think what people are afraid of when you talk about mentoring or asking someone for help is people feel maybe too vulnerable. Like, either they're sharing secrets or they don't want people to know that they maybe don't know how to do something. And I think that that's really a dangerous hole to fall into, right? So talk to us a little bit more about asking. You're talking about, your tribe and asking other people for assistance in these different areas you need. And talk to us maybe about that vulnerability, because you clearly don't have it. And I respect that. I have a lot of admiration for that.
So I think one of the reasons, this is hilarious, but one of the things I'm so good at is knowing what I don't know. So
that's important.
Yeah, like I will always ask for help. And every time I ask, I feel that I'm more successful. So I would say this to clients, I'm like, Michael Phelps had a coach, Michael Jordan had a coach. Right. I've had a coach, and I still like to be accountable to my coach about, because I don't do shakes, I don't do pills, I don't do any of that. I just do, eating. Eat real food. So I think that's very important that you have someone in, your life to help you. You know what I mean? I think that that's okay. People who, like all the most successful people have mentors and ask for help, right?
Love it. Yep, that's good. Yep. Yeah. Michelle also said Robin is wonderful. So you hit a good one on the head there. Sounds like she's Robin I need to eat. It sounds like you need to go. So Nirit, tell us, one of the things I love to ask people is I want to know about you and I like to call it superpower. And what I mean by that, it's sort of twofold. Number one is, what do you do that you are just absolutely perfect at? You are great at. This is really your sweet spot. Number one. Number two, what is the thing in your business that makes just like your hair stand up on your arms? I mean, like you're just in euphoria when you do this in your business and it happens. You're just like, oh, this is exactly why I do this. I love it. So give us the answer to those two, if you would, please.
Okay. So the first one, it applied to teaching as well as coaching. I think with the kids, with the adults, I make people the best that they're ever going to be. So honestly, better than you've ever imagined you're going to be. I'm really good at motivating and getting people to do things because I make them feel like I believe in them. And so they start believing in themselves. Nice. And then they do anything. They reach all their goals. And it's, I just want to explain something. Yeah, I do weight loss to a healthy lifestyle, but it's not about weight loss. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's about like what that gets you, how that makes you feel, like going out, feeling so amazing in your body, always feeling comfortable with who you are. That's what I mean. And nice. That kind of ties into the other one, like that feeling that people get, that confidence that people feel when they start reaching their goals and they know that it's possible and they see that it's possible before they didn't feel like it. And they know that these short-term things don't work. They know, and they see that this works. That is what excites me. And then they learn it and they learn how they can do it forever. And it's not hard. It's super simple. That's what excites me.
I love your energy. It's so contagious. And I could see why people want to work with you, because that energy, if you brought that to my house and my feed every single day, I know I'd be wanting to get up and, run around the block and keep that energy going. I just love this energy. And I love it on the business side as well, because that, it gets really tough. I mean, one of the reasons we're doing these interviews is because I want to share with people that, somebody who just walks into an opportunity or sees an opportunity in front of them every day isn't, rainbows and sparkles. It's every day, more often than not, is dark clouds and raining, and you just figure out how to make the rainbows and sparkles out of it. So, you keep that focus on the thing that gives you that euphoria, that I see that energy in you, which is really exciting. So you gave us a few tips about some things that you could share with business owners. Tell us if you had somebody starting a new business, one great piece of advice you would give besides the mentor, which I think is phenomenal. But give us a piece of advice that you would give somebody starting out that maybe, they just know they want to do this thing, but they just don't know anything else. And they might even be talking themselves out of it.
Okay. So the mentor is big, but the second thing I would say is what I would tell people with trying to get healthy too,
Okay.
Take a little bit of imperfect action every day. I think a lot of people get stuck on everything having to be super perfect, that they don't take any action. And then nothing gets done. There's like a month later, nothing gets done. But if you do a little bit every single day towards your goal, by the end of the week, you have so much. By the end of the month, you have so much happening that you're so much moving forward. So I do so much in one day. Like I have so much content going out. I have like 23 clients at a time. And, I do a lot of stuff every single day. I do marketing, sales, and I'm working constantly. And I'm not worried about like, is this copy like the best thing in the entire world? Is my background like, I don't have time for that. I can't take, and I know a lot of people really worry about that, but then you're not going to get anything done. That's my take imperfect action. And that can be same with workouts. If I have to have the perfect thing and the perfect meal, and it's never going to be perfect.
Yeah, because there's just not enough perfect. The imperfect is in there. I love this because earlier this week, I actually did a live about exactly this, just get started, try, jump out, start doing it. Whatever it is, start doing it. Because if you don't, somebody else is going to do what you think you want to do. And if you don't do it, you're not moving, then you're going to miss that opportunity, whatever that is. So you have to keep working at it. I love that advice. So, as we wrap up, tell me, I have two last questions. One, excuse me, tell me how you explain what you do, 10 words or less.
10 words or less. I say, I guess I would say I help professional women look great and feel great without dieting or overwhelm.
I love it. I love that. I love that. I love that. If anybody wants to get in touch with you after today because they're just super excited about your energy, want to get to know more about you, or want to find out about your program, which, I just feel this was a great interview to start my interview day, because I'm just all energized. I really appreciate it. So tell us how we can reach you after today. Anybody can reach you.
Yes. So if you feel like you need any support or just have any questions, if this is valuable to you, Nirit, Nirit, at fitwithnirit.com.
Excellent. Okay. Excellent. And do you have any kind of special or any program or anything you want to share that might be on your website or something else that you want to share?
Yeah. So I have another cohort of my 12-week program actually starting on Monday. And there are actually 7 spots left to pick it up. And I'm super, super excited. It is a great, great program. It's the best program out there. It's the best on the market for accountability, support, and getting your results without dieting. So,
okay. And so to get into that, somebody would just need to email you at the email address you just gave us.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Would you, when we get finished, put that in the comments below, just so if anybody missed it, whatever, then they know exactly where to find you. That would be awesome. Thank you. I just can't thank you enough for your incredible time and energy and wisdom today. It's been really enlightening. I really appreciate your time.
I want to thank you for your time as well, because I follow you. We're in a lot of work, networking together, and I just really appreciate just learning from you as well. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much. That's very kind. So guys, if you want to share this with somebody, they missed it, we're going to have a replay on my YouTube page. So go there and subscribe so you don't miss any of them. We'll also be linking the replay of this tomorrow. So, and I'll be tagging Nirit in it so she can actually share it on her pages. It'll be in LinkedIn in the next couple of days. So it'll be back around. Then you can share it with others. Please go in there and do that. Share this and share the love for Nirit and her story, because it's just really energizing. I hope you guys have had a great time. And I will be back in just a short little bit of time with another amazing lady and really cool story that I really want to share with you guys. So I hope you keep tuning in. And Nirit, thanks again for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Entrepreneurial Live Interviews with Connie Fuksa. I'm Connie Fuksa. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.